The school gym buzzed with music and laughter as former students filed in. Some carried babies. Some wore wedding rings. Some had put on weight, others lost it. But their eyes still held the same old social hierarchies. A group gathered near the punch bowl, gossiping loudly. "Is she really coming?" one girl asked, flipping her hair. "I doubt it," another sneered. "She probably still can't afford an Uber." Laughter exploded. The ringleader, Tessa, smirked. She hadn't changed at all. "I mean, why invite her?" she said loudly. "For charity? So she can feel included for once." More laughter. Someone else added, "Didn't she wear the same shoes for 3 years?" Another voice joined in, "Yeah, and that backpack looked like a dog chewed it." They laughed so hard their faces turned red. But suddenly, thump, 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 the ground vibrated. The windows rattled. The chandelier hanging above shook so violently one woman grabbed her husband's arm. "What is that? Earthquake?" "No, listen." A deep roaring sound filled the air. Someone ran from the entrance screaming. A helicopter just landed in the parking lot. The entire reunion froze. She stepped down from the sleek black helicopter, the wind blowing her hair back like she'd stepped out of a movie. Her dress glowed under the evening lights. Her heels clicked confidently against the pavement. 2 security guards walked behind her. Her assistant walked beside her. But she didn't look at any of them. Her eyes were locked straight ahead. On the building she once walked into with fear. The building where she was humiliated, mocked, ignored. Not today. Today, the air itself felt different, like the world was finally paying attention. Phones lifted. People whispered. Someone gasped, "Is that—" "No, it can't be." Another whispered, "Wait. She looks like money." A third said with a trembling voice, "She looks like someone important." She finally stepped through the gym doors. Every head turned. Silence fell instantly. But it wasn't uncomfortable silence. It was shock. Heavy, stunned shock. Tessa's jaw fell open so wide she looked like she might swallow a fly. One guy whispered, "She looks like those billionaire heirs on magazines." Her calm voice sliced through the room. "Hello, everyone." Just 2 words. But people shivered. Tessa recovered first, sort of. She forced a loud, fake laugh. "Oh my God," she said, voice dripping with sarcasm. "Look who actually showed up. We weren't sure you'd make it." She just smiled politely. "I'm here now." Tessa's eyes flicked over the expensive dress, the custom heels, the jewelry that cost more than her car. "So, where'd you get the dress?" She smirked. "Rent it." Her assistant stepped forward immediately. "Ma'am." She raised a hand. "No, I can handle her." Then she looked Tessa in the eyes. Calm, confident, unbothered. "I didn't rent anything." "Oh, really?" Tessa scoffed. "Then what? You save up for 10 years. Someone tried to whisper, "Tessa, stop," but she didn't stop. "You know," Tessa continued, "you actually clean up nice. I mean, you almost look like someone with money." A small smile crossed her lips. And then, the gym doors burst open. 3 sharply dressed lawyers walked in. Black suit, gold emblem folders, serious expressions. The entire room turned. "Excuse us," the lead lawyer said loudly. His voice echoed. "We're looking for—" He said her name clearly. Everyone gasped. Tessa swallowed nervously. "Why are lawyers here, for you?" The lawyer approached, bowed slightly, and said, "Ma'am, your father sent us. He wants to know if you need any additional support tonight." Silence. Dead silence. Someone whispered, "Her father?" Another said, "Wait, support? Like, security?" Another choked out, Is she? Tessa's face turned pale. Wait. Your father? Who even is your father?" She glanced around the room slowly, and then spoke in a clear, steady voice. "The owner of North Valley Holdings." The room erupted. Whispers. Gasps. Shock. Tessa staggered back. "You mean the billionaire? The one who?" But she didn't get to finish. because the lawyer stepped forward again and added, "Ma'am, your father said the helicopter will return for you whenever you're ready. He also said to remind you that you don't have to stay among people who once mistreated you." The room froze. Her eyes stayed locked on Tessa. Tessa looked like she might faint. "Why, you're a billionaire's daughter?" she whispered. A smile touched her lips. "Yes, and I always was." Gasps everywhere. And then, before anyone could react, Tessa's husband rushed into the room, grabbed Tessa's arm, and whispered something frantically into her ear. Her face turned white as snow. She looked at the main character and whispered, trembling, "Please, don't tell me." Her voice cracked. "Don't tell me he's your father." The main character tilted her head, confused. "What's going on?" Tessa looked like she was about to cry. "My husband. He works for North Valley Holdings." She froze. "And he just told me," her lips trembled, "that your father is on his way here." The entire room turned toward the doors in terror. And then, a shadow appeared in the doorway. A tall figure, broad shoulders, sharp suit. Someone screamed, "Oh my God! Is that?" The tall figure walked slowly into the gym, and the entire reunion crowd went pin-drop silent. His expensive shoes echoed across the polished floor. His suit was sharp enough to cut glass. And his presence alone made people step back without thinking. Everyone knew who he was. Everyone. The man who owned half the city. The man whose company employed thousands. The man whose face was on magazine covers students used to mock her with. Her father. Her heart thudded so loudly she heard it in her ears. He never went anywhere without security. He never attended public events. He never liked attention. So why was he here? He walked straight to her, not once looking at anyone else, and gently placed one hand on her shoulder. "Are you all right?" he asked, his voice soft, warm, protective. She nodded slowly, still stunned. "I'm fine, Dad." A wave of gasps exploded across the room. Someone whispered, "She called him Dad." Another said, "Oh my God." She wasn't lying. A third murmured, "This is insane." Her father squeezed her shoulder. "I heard you were here," he said. "I wanted to come myself." Tessa, standing nearby, stared like she was watching her whole life collapse in slow motion. Her father finally turned to face the crowd. His voice dropped cold. "I understand," he said, "that there were people here who treated my daughter poorly." No one breathed. Tessa swallowed hard. I mean, we were just kids." He raised one finger. She shut up instantly. "Kids or not," he continued calmly, "the way you treated her had consequences. You broke her spirit. You made her feel less. You made her doubt herself." He stepped closer. His stare sharpened. "And that is something I will never forgive." Tessa's husband whispered desperately, "Tessa, do something. Say sorry." But she was frozen. Her father looked at her and the group behind her. "Do you know," he asked quietly, "that she cried herself to sleep many nights? That she hid her report cards because she didn't want more jokes? That she pretended she wasn't hungry so no one would laugh at her lunch?" Tessa turned pale. The room didn't move. The main character blinked back tears she didn't expect. She had spent years burying those memories, yet hearing her father say them aloud made all the hidden wounds ache again. But then, her father turned to her again, and his eyes softened. "You survived, sweetheart," he said gently. "You rose above them. And now look at you." Her throat tightened. "That's because you believed in me." "No," he whispered. "I believed in the tiny girl who didn't know her own strength." His voice trembled slightly, something she rarely saw. "And I came here today to make sure you understand one thing. You owe them nothing. Not forgiveness unless you choose it. Not kindness unless you want it. Tonight, you choose who you become to them." She looked around the gym. There were faces she hated, faces she feared, faces that made her relive the worst days of her life. But there were also strangely quiet faces, people she didn't even remember, people who had never bullied her, just never helped her. And suddenly she realized something. She wasn't the scared girl holding a torn backpack anymore. She wasn't the girl hiding bruised feelings behind a fake smile. She wasn't weak. She wasn't small. She was powerful. She stepped forward. "I'm not here for revenge," she said, her voice steady. "And I'm not here to punish anyone." Tessa looked relieved for exactly 1 second. "But," she continued softly, "I do want honesty. So I want one person to finally say what they did to me. Out loud." The air tightened. Her eyes met Tessa's. Tessa's lips trembled. Her husband whispered urgently, "Say it. Just say it." And then, for the first time in her life, Tessa broke. "I'm sorry," she cried, voice shaking. "I'm so sorry. We shouldn't have treated you like that. We shouldn't have called you names or pushed you around or laughed at you. I was jealous. Okay? Jealous." The room gasped. "Jealous?" Tessa wiped her eyes with shaky hands. "You always got the highest grades," she said quietly. "You always stayed calm. You never chased attention. Teachers loved you. You were better than me. Smarter." She sniffed. "And I knew if I didn't break you, you'd outrun me one day." A tear rolled down the main character's cheek. Not anger, not pain, just understanding. Sometimes broken people try to break others. Sometimes insecurity wears a crown of cruelty. She nodded slowly. "Thank you," she whispered, "for finally telling the truth." Her father placed his hand over hers. "You're extraordinary," he whispered. The room slowly relaxed as the tension dissolved. People approached her nervously, but respectfully now. One woman said, "I wish I had spoken up back then." A man added, "You didn't deserve any of it. You're amazing." Even the teachers looked ashamed. And for the first time ever, she felt seen, truly seen. Not as the girl with worn shoes. Not as the girl with hand-me-down clothes. Not as the class loser. But as the woman she had become. A woman who survived. A woman who grew. A woman who rose without turning bitter. Her father linked his arm with hers. "Ready to go?" he asked gently. She looked around one last time. At the gym where she once hid her tears. At the people who once hurt her. At the girl she used to be. And she smiled softly. "Yes," she whispered. "I'm ready." They walked outside together. The helicopter blades were already spinning, kicking up wind that tugged at her dress and hair. Her father helped her up the steps. She paused at the top, looking back at the school one last time. Not with pain, not with fear, but with peace. Her father touched her shoulder. "Proud of you," she smiled. "Thank you for coming for me." He shook his head. "No, you came for yourself. And that's the bravest thing you've ever done." She stepped into the helicopter. The doors closed. The aircraft lifted off higher and higher until the school shrank beneath her feet. The place that once broke her was now nothing more than a small shadow on the ground. And she was rising above it. At last.